What if you could trade on this? This is Kalshi, a regulated exchange where you trade on real world events. Each
Yeah, can you talk about what changed in that fourth quarter? You guys were down by 22, and into the game there was a question around versus Reese feeling and the way the game started.
It just wasn't you were playing on your game. Okay, the next time we're going all together side of it.
I mean, it's always great when you can win in the playoffs. Obviously, special when it's always special when you can get a win, especially at the start of the series. And, that's a great team to find a way to win as a unit. Shows that we can go out there and we just got to play better. But makes sense a lesson learned. Question for each you.
Start on the Caleb. Two huge threes that you hit in crunch time. Just can you kind of walk us through watching those go through into the field and when they left your hands, they were going there. Yeah, I think both of them did. Just trying to drive, make a play. I think they did a great job denying out. And then teammates just, reminded me of the shot clock, so just trying to make a play. And then the last one, just this man right here, just trusted me, same side, corner three, and just trying to be ready and just, try to make the shot. Really just ran on you. I'll ask you first, Jalen, maybe just what kind of boost did Shannon give you guys tonight? Not only with that shot defensively on Mitchell down the stretch.
Yeah, I think we picked up. Just who he is, true professional. Ever since he's born to the league, and seen his work firsthand this couple of years. And so, he's up to any task that you put in front of him. So he's been that player. He's been that player for us. We got most faith in him.
For any of you guys, it looked when you're down 22 before that, there was one time it looked kind of agitated. Just kind of what do you guys say to each other? Keep each other going. We can stop.
Yeah, just keep fighting, keep chipping away. We're not going to get one position. Most importantly, sticking together. Game finished and I had to translate. So I can translate to the next game. So just finishing the game strong regardless of what's going on. Make sure everybody happens. So that we go to the next game, we're doing what we're doing. We're not just giving up. Rest we don't want to give up ever. So just have faith in each other.
Should I have a question for you?
See, that's the same. Appreciate you. Was wondering just about
You were playing against Atlanta and Philadelphia. It felt like the kind of the lot that is the defensive. Like that was your big thing that you brought to the table against both of those teams. It felt like the kind of the lot that you put in is the defensive. Like that was your big thing that you brought to the table against both of those teams, and that's just kind of synonymous with who you are and your reputation at this point. So I was wondering what it's like bringing that kind of level of intensity defensively against all sorts of different kinds of opponents, despite whatever's happening in scoring. You have it looks at least like you have such a pride. I'm just wondering how you keep that motivation up. Yeah, I think just I've always been just trying to be a defender and make plays, and obviously as I got older, just kind of get into that role when I got to college in the league as well. But yeah, just taking on that challenge. That definitely was just one of my rules to play defense and guard against guys. And obviously, it's never self like I got teammates behind me that's gonna help me. But yeah, it's always dope to have a challenge if you come with different guys who
really skillful. You know, from Nikhil, CJ to Maxi, PG, you know, now to James and Donovan. So yeah, just something we've been embracing and trying to keep getting better.
Hey, here, and I wanted to ask you, what thing has been the most important for the team to make the comeback possible? Thanks.
Our defense. Our defense was fantastic in the fourth quarter and all the time. Like I said before, it's amazing shot makers like JB and Kale hit shots and Landry Shaman hit shots. At the end of the day, it's the defense that won us the game because we were already in the deficit. So for us to have our offense start clicking and on the flip side as well, and defense to get stops. That was the turning point in the game against a really great team. So it was true resiliency, grit, and attention to detail.
Jalen, you started attacking almost every possession in the fourth quarter. It seemed like it just matter if you found something that was working or just the outside shot wasn't going and it's plan B.
Just being on top of it, just trying to find CMs to get to where I go. It's just because of the rhythm I created. Shots before I had, like Ken said, it starts with our defense. The way we're going to stops, and then trust in me. So good for the.
For all three of you, can you talk about what it was like to be a part of what seemed like a big miracle at the Garden?
It's always special when you give your fans something to cheer for. For us to, to go around for them for the first 3 quarters of the game, and for us to come out and win, and with the energy of the fans and the fans really showing us so much love and support to give them something to cheer for. Then the fourth, it's always an honor. It's a privilege to be able to do, and this team, what we want to do is make the city proud. The city wins, and that's an night where it didn't seem like it was going to happen. It's an honor, and it's truly something special.
Lindsay Lulu, and I'm at the Target Studio. Hey, guys.
That's it all.
Jalen Cat talked about with the big game last year, and this basically being a rehearsal of that. Is that cathartic at all? Is that fitting almost? What do you make of that sort of basically flipping the script?
Nothing. Just moving on.
My group, they've been resilient all year, and I don't know if I've seen that in a playoff game. I don't know if I've been a part of it. Maybe I have. But to be down 18, 19, 20, whatever, when you're down and to find a way to come back and win. I take my hat off to my group. They don't believe in, they shoot the ball well. They were turning us over. They were getting the ball in the pocket and taking advantage of us. And we just found a way. We found 5 guys that went out there and able to get the stops and score the basketball. And Landry Shaman was great. Landry Shaman was great on both ends of the floor. He came up big. You're not going to stop a guy like Donovan Mitchell. You just got to make it work. And Landry tried like heck to make it work. He was fantastic. He was the difference in the ball game tonight. Both ends of the floor. Mikal was great too. Mikal was great on both ends of the floor. Cat finally got going. He had a double-double, which was huge. We needed every rebound that he came up with. And then OG gave us a lot of versatility defensively and allowed us to do different things on that end of the floor. As a team, you combine the fourth quarter and overtime, and they scored a total of 21 points. That's phenomenal, especially against that team. Our guys were really active defensively. We were 5 for 5 when it came to 50-50 ball. It was just a great defensive performance in the last quarter and overtime. So, great win by our guys. And obviously, we don't get it done if Jalen Brunson doesn't play like one of the MVP guys in the league. He was phenomenal. He did what he was supposed to do tonight, and it definitely helped us get the win.
Coach, in the fourth quarter, there you got a lot of Brunson on here. I mean, was that just something you guys were looking for, and is that kind of an advantageous matchup for you that really helped you guys down the stretch?
You know, and it's sometimes you got to do what the game dictates, and we try to do the same thing. So it's okay. You know, we feel like we can play that game. Try not to play that game much, but we feel like we have a guy that we can play the game. We have to jail. So, you know, just like we have to try to figure out different ways to guard and Mitchell, they got to figure out different ways to guard Jalen. But there is no secret we were attacking hard.
I mean, what was your thought process minutes to go and you went with Landry? Where did you see at that point that let you know that's where I have to go?
You know, we talked about it throughout the course of the game. We talked about it this morning as a staff too. That you know, we feel like we can get some straight threes, and Landry's been shooting the ball really well for us. And you got Landry out there, you have Bucci out there, you have Mikhail out there, you have Cat or Mitch and Jamer. And they have to guard tradition. If they want to put a big on Landry, great. Put a big on Landry. If you want to put a big on OG, great. Put a big on OG. But then when it falls out, you're going to have to take away the three and the drive. So we just felt defensively, Landry is a big guard. He's physical. He moves his feet great, and he can defend without foul. And so to play him, knowing that, you know, Jalen comes and the spray is going to be there, that's what we decided to do.
Like, so besides the shot making, Jalen looked like there was one level where he looked like he was kind of animated, looking at everybody. Just kind of, you seeing something in the huddle from him, captain wise?
He's, you know, he's leader. He's a guy, and he felt we needed to play faster. He felt we needed to be better defensively. There were a couple of things that he felt, and he made sure that we knew, and our guys responded to him.
Like you mentioned a little bit, Landry opening up the offense. That had a big. The other small up is them having Jared Allen and Josh and Nance kind of clogging up and those.
These don't. What's in guard? So I'm waiting for them to react to it after.
They can control. That's why the nicer he gets, the quicker he loses interest. Why I'm not like he flips the icon. Clearly. So predictable. It's boring. And he's like, oh, here's pretty important, okay? Remember that. So when you're texting back, you're being understanding everything that he does. How is that being his praise from? You're no problem at all. And that's not how you get the man. Men don't fall in love when they have you. They fall in love when they think that they could possibly lose you. Do you agree with that? That's why they're obsessed with the damn woman and doesn't even text them back. They can't stop talking to the bros about it. Challenge his goddamn ego. Make him step up and work for you. You don't gotta be an absolute. You can't be so available. That's all. They don't fall in love with the girls. They fall in love with the girls they can control.
Okay. So let's go through this because this is very destructive advice because as usual, you know, we're all worse enemies. Well, let's go through this and let's review it and break this down. So
That's why they fall in love with the girls. They fall in love with the girls they can control. That's why the nicer you are, the quicker you lose interest.
okay, so what she doesn't realize is that men have two paths. Okay, for all of you who are watching the show, I'm going to debunk this real bad for you ladies. You got to understand how this shit works. This is precisely why you never listen to men, especially all that's like our advice. There's two categories. Okay, it's the I just want to have my fun category, toxic category, whatever. And then you have the girl that like, okay, this is the girl that I actually see a life with, that I can be with, etc. Okay? When you're dealing with a who has toxic behavior, who does this, she plays this game from texting you and guys chase. A lot of times that guy is chasing right? To have and to close the deal. Okay? But what these people don't realize is that the fact that you made it so difficult at the beginning, or you were being whatever it is, guys don't forget that shit. So what'll happen is he'll get you and then he'll keep you in the perpetual zone only. Okay? Now, what we need to realize is that some for men is the same as the friend zone. I'm gonna say that again. For men, okay, is the functional equivalent of the friend zone. You have that guy that you don't give any booty to, you don't give him any real validation, yet he's always available, yet he's always there, yet he's always hooking you up with, maybe an Uber ride here, dinner here, hangs out with you here, gets your boyfriend energy here, gives you advice here, whatever. That guy, right? That guy, all of you ladies have 2 or 3 or 40 seconds, right? That's exactly what the man puts you in, but from a holy category, which means you are never going to break out of holy category and move up to what's called a girlfriend, though. Or like a serious partner. Okay? Now, here's where the rubber meets the road. I need the women to listen very closely because I go over here. It's like, no, that's not true, Myron. We dated. He called me his girl. He gave me a gift. Blah, blah. Hey, dumb. Hey, wake up. Most men have no problem selling your dumb dream. You get that? They will sell the facade that you were the main girl. They will sell the dream that you will become the wife eventually. They will sell you the image of a long-term relationship. But the reality is in the back of their mind, they know that they're writing a check they can't cash. Most men do this, okay? Most guys don't have the balls to look you in your eye and tell you, I'm going to have other... Most guys don't have the balls or the ability to tell a girl, I'm never going to be monogamous to you. They can't do that. That's why that's a struggle in the first place to get your dumb. You stupid. He had to struggle in the beginning to get you. That's why you played the games. And then after he cracked, he said, okay, this is good, but this was really rude to me. This girl was really difficult to deal with. This girl isn't really girlfriend material. She's a pain in the... She's toxic. But that's what I to get her. So what does he do? He keeps you in the limbo. He gives you just enough so you think that there might be a future, but he never actually pulls a trigger. Starting to get a feeling here, ladies? Am I jogging your memory? Because I know most of you don't jog anyway. That's why you're mostly... Am I jogging your memory? Are you starting to connect the dots now? The guy that sold you the world, they never really went all the way. The guy that would maybe take you here and there, but want to introduce you to certain people. The guy that you might have met his mom one time and accidentally, and she looked at you awkwardly. Is it starting to connect now? Huh? Then do and say whatever they can to get up, okay? Especially if they got the girl by the skin of their teeth, which is why you were rude to them in the first place. But they never get that. They don't forget that shit. But at the same time, they had to work to get you. They realize, okay, I have to work to get this girl. I don't want to lose her. I want to continue to have this sexual access. But at the same time, I can't really take her seriously because she has all these red flags. So they go, just enough to keep you in the hopes to think that there's a real relationship. So I'll give you guys a perfect example. I can choose some example. Let's go ahead and as you guys know, Fresh received the Chinese for a while. He had zero intention of doing anything with her. While he was with her, he was seeing other, right? She kind of knew this, but she thought there might be a chance. He did a fantastic job of, caring. Just all the, right? So when he said, look, we're just gonna, end it, whatever, it is what it is. He said all these sex mentions, she tried to put those sex mentions about it. He said, you want to have a baby? He did a fantastic job of selling her the dream. That's why she got so mad. And had to come out and report the phone call, do all this shit, right? Now, since he's kind of learned his lesson, yes, the dream can be very dangerous. Right? The bottom line is, you don't understand that men put you in one or two categories. And you can't fathom being in this only zone. They don't like hearing that or knowing that. So they just act delusional. No, he's going to wife me up eventually. No, he's just not ready to settle down. They will do and say anything to make themselves feel better for this situation. Because again, you guys got to remember, they're not used to being rejected. Okay? They're not used to being rejected. So this whole concept of there's 2 tiers here, there's a fork in the road, right? There's a only zone. They don't want to hear that. But it's true. It's just that it's very difficult to fathom because the guys that have really good game, they do a fantastic job of making the girl think that there's a future. The love bombing, also the bullshit that I like to say. Or a lover boy game, whatever. A lot of guys do this, okay? So she thinks that being rude and being difficult, whatever, makes the guy want to wife them. No. That makes him want to keep you around, but he's never going to actually take the real step and get up down on one knee and wife you. The nice girls get the ring, okay? That's what these people don't understand. Think about it. Every CEO, every guy that's wildly successful, they got some quiet chick in the back that you've never seen before. I wonder why. The nice girl, the good girl, a lot of times gets the house, gets the ring, and you don't even know who she is. She's in the back. Meanwhile, they might get some attention. They might be out there, blah, 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 but they don't get the ring, bro. They don't. But she's to realize this. And this is why it's the blind leading the blind. Because this girl doesn't understand that when you do that, you act rude and you be difficult or whatever. Like, I was just gonna never take you seriously. They'll string you along because obviously that's not the work here. She's great. Like what she's saying here, this is great for like maintaining a flame. Sure, be annoying, be insufferable. Maintain the flame. We ain't gonna get down on one knee and marry her. I'm sorry. Okay, at least not the guy that you want.
Not nice. To you, specifically. Julius. Stop being so predictable. It's boring. You gotta be more off. Here's prettiest problem, okay? Remember that.
See, here's the thing that she also doesn't understand. I love predictability. We are not, okay? We don't like chaos. We don't like drama. We don't like any of that shit. I don't like that shit. I don't like a man being unpredictable. I don't like predictability. Okay? As a matter of fact, being a predictable girl is what gets you the guy in the first place. You can wake up every day and know that there's a coffee. He knows that his clothes are going to be ready to go and press. He knows he'll have dinner waiting for him when he comes home. If anything, man, value predictability far more than we do. And the reason why is because we're going into the real world, it's already chaos. We have to fight for everything that we get, right? This is another example of the conflating female wants and needs to male wants and needs. We're not you. We're not you. Men are drastically different from men. Okay? We're way different from you guys. We don't want this chaos at all. It doesn't help us. It doesn't benefit us. And it's the last thing we want to deal with when we go home. And like that chaos. Because unpredictability from a man signifies higher status. Why? Because if a guy is high and cold with how he deals with you, that implies that he has other options and or he's a higher status guy and has other shit going on. We don't want that shit. We don't want that shit. We want a girl that's available. They want a guy that's not available. We are not the same. Men are polar opposites. And it is this conflation, right? This is actually a critical mistake that a lot of women make. They think male and female attraction is symmetrical. It's asymmetrical. We are not attracted to the same things. We are attracted to men that are unpredictable. We're attracted to men that are toxic. We're attracted to men that have status and money and are non-reactive, right? Men value these things because these are signifiers of higher status and respond favorably to men that have higher status. These things all signify higher status. With men, we don't give about any of that. Oh, this status means absolutely nothing to us. We don't care if she's famous. We don't care if she has money. We don't care if she has clout. We don't care about any of that shit. I would argue her having clout and status actually hurts her position. Oh my God. So her saying, yeah, you gotta play these games and all this other shit. Yeah, that works for a guy, not for a girl. A guy wants a girl that's reliable. You're already flaky, dummy. We already play a ridiculous amount of games. There's a reason why. There's an old phrase when men refer to their wife, old reliable. Men want a reliable woman. Most people aren't reliable. You can't even rely on yourself. You should rely on it. It's like they're useless. And some of you guys are like, oh shit. I haven't heard that phrase in decades. You want to know why? Because they haven't been reliable in decades. Faithful or reliable? They just don't use these terms no more. Because people are reliable. Get them out of here. Oh my God. They have adopted the male sexual strategy, thinking that it's going to adopt men. Because they think acting more like men is going to be attractive to men. No. All that does is make them say, okay, cool. She's playing these games, I'm going to and chuck her. I'm never going to take her seriously. And in order to continue, I have to pretend that I'm not going to chuck her. So that means they sell the dream. Do you get that, ladies? I really do wish that there's some people watching here that can learn something. Text a note. Because you're not going to get this shit nowhere else. These stuff on TikTok are ruining y'all. This is a strategy to get a flame. These stuff on TikTok are ruining y'all. This is a strategy to get a flame. This is not a strategy to get a husband. This is not a strategy to get a husband. Playing this game will get you some NBA players. Playing this game might get you an NFL player, might get you an higher status guy here or there, but these niggas aren't gonna commit to you. Do you get that? This will get you flown out, then thrown out. You get that shit? It will get you flown out, then thrown out. So sure, play the games. Beat me. Be a but don't understand because there's a book that came out, Men Love. There was a book, a famous book that came out, Men Love. What we don't understand is when you say men love, it means we love for a fling, for entanglement, for a situation, not for something long-term or serious, okay? And it's incredible for me how we don't understand that men also play the game of the friend zone, or as I call it, the zone. You think that there's just one track. Oh, he's doing me? Okay, cool. The next logical path here is girlfriend and eventually wife. No. You have been filtered into the category and you will not be taken seriously. You just don't know it. One of the biggest benefits that men get, and I'm going to say this, as much as I always talk about the disparity, right? I talk about the disparity between men and dating and relationships and how, men have it hard or whatever. There's one privilege I can say that we have. It sucks on the front, but listen to me and I'll tell you guys why. Men, right? We have the benefit of rejection. Let me explain what I mean by this. You walk up to a girl, you talk to her, she says, I'm not interested, I don't have a boyfriend. Cool. You know where you stand immediately, you leave, you go talk to another girl. Right? I tell you guys all the time, don't even waste your time, just go talk to more girls. Like, don't bother, they're all the same anyway, they're not that special, just go talk to another girl. I'm telling you. And once you got like 10 girls, you pretty much have they're all the same. Okay? I'm not even trying to be cool here or whatever, but like, most men are very similar, right? More similar than they will let you think. Okay? They have very similar hobbies, very similar interests, very similar upbringings, very similar backgrounds. Like, in the grand scheme of things, a lot of them are very similar. So, there's not really much of a difference for you to sit there and fight for girls' approval. Just talk to another. Okay? That's one of the benefits of being a man. You get told up front, I'm not adequate, no thank you, you go talk to another girl. Right? That's a privilege I'm going to tell you what. You know what men don't get? That we get? Honest feedback. But here's the thing that sucks for with men. You get rejected, you move on, you know where you stand. With they don't know if they get rejected. They might meet a guy, the guy takes them on 5 dates, he likes